and welcome to Still Buffering, a sister's guide to teens through the ages. I am Riley Smurl.
I'm Sydney McElroy.
And I'm Taylor Smurl.
Well, good week, sisters. Good day. Good day, sisters.
What?
How are you?
Sydney's already offline and we just started.
I've been working all week. Weekend and week.
What just happened?
Oh.
Did I take a nap and wake up?
Will you reboot her voice? I don't mean to be doing... Why am I doing a voice?
I don't know, you did an accent. And I
Are you doing a bit? Is this a bit?
I didn't mean for it to be a bit. I'm just tired.
Good morrow, sisters.
That's one for the day.
Oh God, now we're all doing it.
I'm sorry, this was my fault. I started it. Let's try again. We're just three sisters from West Virginia. We're not fancy like our fancy accents.
Like our fancy accents? Is that how fancy people talk?
All fancy people are British. You know this.
They seem fancier than me.
I'm wearing my top hat and my monocle.
That's what. That's like how British people wear, obviously.
They all dress like Mr. Peanut.
Oh, Mr. Peanut, you sophisticated rascal.
Okay.
Well,
Guys, we got started with the goofs way too early. We didn't even do an intro.
that's okay. People are here for the goofs. Just keep them coming. This is like, whose line is it anyway? Just keep rolling with it. Just say yes. Keep saying yes.
Yes.
That's the secret to improv.
Lean in.
Well, sisters, I think that we've been talking about a lot of silly, kind of goofy, fun stuff like food. Like
silly, goofy, fun stuff.
Like food. Taylor, I still have yet to see our picture.
Yeah, Taylor.
Oh, I know.
The Squish and Blasters, Radberry Squish and Blasters zombie. So
And I would like all of you to be here for our biggest announcement yet. We have created our own business.
Oh, that's true. Riley created a business for us.
I created a business for us. It's Teen Trends, but teen is with 3s instead of E's. And Trends has 2 E's and 4 Z's.
Yeah.
Wait, Trends has 2 E's?
So it's sort of like treens.
Okay, that's not Trends at all then. That's a whole other word.
Wait, now I gotta see how I spelled it.
It doesn't exist.
You did. I didn't critique the number of E's, but I did critique the Z's.
You did critique my Z's. I only put 2 at first, and you told me to add more.
More Z's.
It has to be more extreme.
I feel like there's somewhere at, like, I don't know, at MTV or somewhere like that where there was someone who was like, I don't know, what are teens in? Like, how do we make things look cool? How do we make things look like the kids would like them? Someone's like, more Z's. Put more Z's on it.
It is the most extreme of all letters, except for maybe the X. I don't know.
I was gonna say X.
What's a cooler letter, an X or a Z? You tell us out there, world.
I don't know. We need a poll.
Take a poll.
X or Z.
Riley, do you remember when you were little and we used to, so Justin and I used to take Riley out on like adventures when she was little, do things like sledding, or like we'd take you to theme parks or whatever. And we would try to get you to do something by telling you that it was extreme and we wanted you to be extreme.
Yeah, you'd say, it's so extreme.
And
you have to be extreme.
Little baby Riley would go down like sledding going, extreme, extreme.
That was like when you tried to get
cute.
me to ride that terrifying roller coaster at Kings Island where you lay on your back, but then it flips over so you're on your stomach.
Yeah.
And you're facing the ground the whole time. You got to do it. It's extreme.
It's extreme. You'll be so extreme.
So I got on it and I was like barely tall enough to be on it. And I was like, extreme.
I thought the whole time, oh, if she falls off, Mom's going to kill me.
I rode it just a few weeks ago. It's still just as terrifying.
I remember when we rode the rock and roller coaster. I reached.
I want to go straight up.
Do you remember that I reached back and had my hand on you the whole time? No, that wasn't the rock and roller coaster. That was the Aerosmith themed one.
Where's there an Aerosmith?
No, that is the rock and roller coaster. That's at Disney World.
Yeah, or at MG. Well,
MGM.
Hollywood. Disney Hollywood Studios is what it's called now. Yeah, there was like, and
Yeah,
I remember
because
I had
it's
my
dark.
hand back on Riley the whole time because I thought I don't know what I thought I was going to do. Like, I can't let her fall out.
Because it's dark the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the one at Universal, the Rip and Rocket roller coaster that goes straight up and down.
No, I didn't ride that.
I did.
Extreme.
Extreme.
That's the one word I think about when I see the two of you. Just extreme sisters.
Hey.
Hey now.
I try to be extreme.
I don't. Not anymore.
Most of the time, if I'm not at work, I don't wear a bra. How do you like that? Deal with it, world. Extreme.
That's so very extreme.
I had froyo for breakfast. My extreme.
Extreme.
Yeah.
I made a smoothie that has fruit and vegetables in it for breakfast. Does that make me extreme?
No, I don't. I can't give you an extreme for that.
Smoothie.
No.
No. It's pretty tasty.
Keep working on it though, Rilo.
I'll try
You're
my
still
best.
young. You've got time. We thought we should talk about something. I don't want to say more serious. Not necessarily more serious, but a little more. I don't know. Emotional. Emotional.
Because, all us teens are just so emotional.
You are. You're just overwrought with emotion at all times.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about breakups.
Wow.
I feel like there needs to be sad music there.
I know.
Breakups.
Is that a song?
That's a song I wrote about breakups.
Breakups.
That's pretty much it. Well, we'll work on the harmony later. It's pretty good, though.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to lay it down in the studio later and see how it sounds. Breakups are hard, yo.
They are hard
Yo.
to do.
That's true. I know that I went through. I don't know that I went through an abnormally large number of breakups, but like my fair share. I had my fair share of
Okay,
breakups.
so like by the time you were my age, how many did you have, both of you?
By the time I was 15,
Well,
going on 16,
Pretty
almost
much 16. Yeah.
Well, 1, 2. Do we count like kindergarten too?
That's what I was
I
going to
didn't
say, because
have-
if we're only counting real relationships, I had 0.
Yeah, I didn't have boyfriends in elementary school, like kindergarten boyfriends.
I did.
I've had one ever. And that was 2 years ago.
I had
Last
like
year.
5 or 6, I want to say.
Oh my,
Wow.
Sydney.
Well,
But
but
I mean,
you're
like-
you're counting the kindergarten stuff.
Yeah, I'm counting like,
Okay.
like my
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
Because I
Okay,
had a
if you
couple
count
of those too, and I definitely tried to obtain significant others in elementary school.
Obtain significant others.
Yes.
Maybe that's why you didn't have any.
Yeah, I mean that probably
You walked
that
into-
phrase combo right there.
You walked into your first day of kindergarten dressed like Mr. Peanut with your monocle and your top hat and your cane, and you said, I'm trying to obtain a significant other.
You walked up to the teacher. Excuse me, ma'am.
No, you know what?
How does one go about obtaining a significant other?
The thing is, this is funny, but I think the way that I actually at least once went about it is so much more embarrassing and awful than that goof.
What? Okay. Well, what did you do?
Yeah.
I know this is about breaking up, but what was this?
Well, this is rejection, so I think that
Fair
counts.
game. That's fair game.
Yeah. It was a little boy from the neighborhood that would come down and jump on our trampoline, and that was pretty much the gist of our friendship. Bouncing. He was down. We were jumping, and I decided I could no longer hold back. That I needed to let him know that I thought he was.
fight this feeling anymore.
No, oh my God, no! That's insane that you. I burst into song. And it was that song. How did you know?
No.
No,
I
you
kid you
didn't.
not. I did. And this wasn't some like crazy reaction. Like, what do I do? What do I do? REO Speedwagon. Like, this is something I thought about. I mulled over it, and I decided in like my 8-year-old mind that the best thing I could do to win this young man's affection is to burst into song while on the trampoline and sing REO Speedwagon's "I Can't Fight This Feeling."
How did that go? What? Okay, first of all, how old were you?
It had to be like 8 or 9.
And so he was 8 or 9
Perfect.
as well.
Yes.
And how did this 8 or 9-year-old boy take this?
Well, when I finished, I think he complimented me on my singing voice, and then we went back to bouncing, and it was never spoken of again.
That was it?
Maybe you didn't make your expression of your feelings clear enough. Maybe
That
he just thought you
is an
really wanted to sing
emotive,
that
expressive song.
song. Maybe he just thought you really wanted to sing that song.
Did you say, no, really listen to the lyrics. Just listen to the lyrics. Oh, Tay, that's rough.
I know, right? I don't think I ever got much better than that. I was a Disney kid, that's if you have a feeling, you sing. So that's what I thought you did.
You were just waiting for like your backup singers or like maybe the animals around to like
and then
join
I thought
in
he was
behind
going to
you.
join in at some point, and then there was going to be a coordinated dance of some kind.
How did you think you were going to learn that dance?
I don't know. I was young and impulsive and in love. I wasn't thinking things through.
I see when I think about like my early, like, I don't want to say relationships.
Don't say relationships.
I was going to say that's like too big a word to put on. Like, I sat next to this kid in lunch for 3 weeks, you know?
Yeah.
But most of the time I feel like they just kind of like end, like they just stop. They don't like, they just stop happening. Like you're sitting with a kid at lunch and then you're not.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, maybe whoever has become no longer enamored with the relationship is the one who like sits somewhere else at lunch first, and then the other one's like kind of confused, and then that's a marker of like how cool you've become at that age. Like, do you walk over and go, "Hey, you're sitting at the wrong. You're supposed to be. Why aren't you with me? Oh,
Okay, bye.
oh, bye." Like maybe you hope you're cool enough to go, I get it. I'm not gonna say anything. Like we'll move on.
Yeah.
We'll go our separate ways now and move on to 4th grade as two people. We'll consciously uncouple into 4th grade.
I was sitting here thinking about Taylor's story, and I wasn't really listening to most of what you were saying because I was trying to think of. I was trying to think.
That makes for good podcasting too, Ryla. Thanks.
I know.
Those words you said, I didn't hear them. Here's the deal.
Okay, so like I was sitting here. This is going to be worth it. I think this is a great story. I was sitting here thinking about Taylor's story, trying to think if I've ever done anything like that or known anyone who did anything like that. And when I was in like 2nd grade, Mom taught a dance to a bunch of like high school age girls at their dance studio to the song "Bleeding Love" by Leona Lewis.
I remember this.
And I was at my friend's pool, and there was a boy there also. It was just the boy and his sister and me and my friend whose pool we were at. And I got out of the pool when this song came on the radio, "Bleeding Love," and I did the dance to "Bleeding Love."
A poolside solo dance piece you performed?
Is this sort of a brain disease that runs in the family? What's going on with us?
I don't think I ever did anything
Well,
like
I
this.
didn't think I had either, and then I remembered. I think I blocked out that memory.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, welcome to the club.
I do remember, as embarrassing as this is, we were at the public pool that we used to hang out, Garden Farms. Taylor, you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And one summer, and there was a guy I had a crush on who used to hang out there too, and he had pizza, and I didn't, and I was sitting there talking to him, and
Was that most of the attraction right there?
I wish I wanted pizza, and he was like messing with me, and he was like, "Yeah, if you run a lap all the way around the pool, I'll let you have a piece of pizza." And I thought, he likes me, he's teasing me. So I ran a lap all the way around the pool to get a piece of pizza. But he didn't like me.
Did he give it to you?
Yeah, he gave me the pizza, but like not a kiss, not a mooch.
I mean, come on. Pizza over mooches any day, right?
Yeah.
That's fair. I'll take the pizza was, in retrospect, the pizza was the better deal.
Yeah.
I don't know why, though, at the moment I thought he must really like me. Like he's teasing me.
He's telling me to run a lap around the pool.
He's really, really feeling me.
To share his greasy public pool pizza with me.
I know.
This is real.
This is a real moment that we're having.
This is the story we'll tell our children.
One time your dad. This was not Justin. This was not. So Justin did, I still say reject me. I don't think I've told this story on this show before.
No, but I know this story.
You know the story, and I'm sure I have mentioned this before on Sawbones, probably. But, Justin and I dated when, like you do, when I was like 12, and he was like 13 or 14, and we like spent this summer talking and hanging out at each other's houses, watching Space Ghost together, and playing Monopoly on the computer, and
Cool.
yeah. And we were super, super digging each other. And then he vanished. We used to call each other like every day. And then I called his house and there was no answer. And I didn't get a call back. And so I called his house the next day and there was no answer. And I didn't get a call back.
Uh-oh.
So I waited and I waited. And 2 weeks passed. And I was heartbroken. And I was devastated. And like, I had 3 girlfriends. I had 3 friends who came over and like we, did the like usual like gathered around me and were like, he's a jerk. You're better than that. If he doesn't like you, he won't take your phone calls. You're better than that. And so I swore I would never speak to him again. And then he calls me 2 weeks later, and I'm very icy. Yes. What did you want? He's like, I've been at church camp for 2 weeks. And I was like, and you didn't tell me, and you just left? Well, yeah. And so then I remember I put him on the phone with my friend, which is like that's the ultimate thing to do when you're a teenager and you can't handle what's happening.
Right.
I was like, here. And my friend was like, listen, Sydney is moving on. Okay, bye.
Oh,
I
man.
know. It was rough. But he broke my heart.
like going to
He went to church camp though.
He didn't tell me. I didn't know. You know what? When you're a teenager, 2 weeks feels like all of time.
That's true.
If you're 2 weeks, think about that, Riley. Think about that right now in your teenage brain. If you have a guy that you're talking to every day and you're like really feeling it, you're like really into this, and then all of a sudden he vanishes on you for 2 weeks, that 2 weeks is going to feel like a really long time, right?
I guess I've just never been that into anybody where I was like, this is torture.
Oh.
Just kind of like, I guess it'll be 2 weeks where I just don't have to worry about like doing anything or going anywhere.
Okay, I don't even know how to connect to that. I felt that way about every relationship. It was always like, the one.
Well, that's the difference between you and me. You got really attached when you were like 10 years old.
That was one of my biggest heartbreaks.
You also had like 6 boyfriends by the time you were my age, and I had 1.
I fell in love a lot.
You
And
fell
out.
in love?
I don't know. As much as you fall in love when you're a kid.
All those breakups.
I would say that I had a breakup with a guy that I'd say the one that hurt the most was a guy who I was dating in high school, and we were in a show together, and there were all these rumors that he was, I don't even say like cheating on me, but like flirting a lot with this other girl in the show. And I didn't believe it. And then like he walked me to my car in the parking lot after school. I was driving by then, and he walked me to my car, and he was like, listen, like the whole like emo boy thing, like I think that you and I are just we're just different people, and like I don't know what I want right now, and I've just got to figure me. It's not you, it's me. I gotta figure some stuff out, and like you're just amazing, and I'm not ready to handle you. All that stuff, and I was like, no, really? Like I was crying, like, no, I'll work with you. I'll get you there. It's fine.
I'll tone down how awesome I am. I can do it.
I can do it. It's fine. I will totally compromise myself. It's cool, no problem. And he was like, no, really, I just think it's best for both of us. We'll just like take a break, go our separate ways,
Gotta go my own way.
I was so sad. I sobbed.
Did you try singing to him?
I didn't try singing to him. And it was even like I hugged him and I told him to like think about it, and like I'd miss him, and like I wasn't going to stop the way I felt. All that crap. And then the next day at school, who do I see walking down the hallway holding hands?
Were you still on the show with them?
Oh yeah.
See, that same thing happened to me.
That sucks.
Last year.
Do you want to share?
I mean, I had a boyfriend, and then he broke my heart. But we were still on the show together. And then, like, 2 days later, rehearsal, everyone said he had a new girlfriend, and it was the assistant director. And I was like, well, maybe he didn't like me because she's a director, and I'm just a dancer.
He was looking for some upward mobility.
He was looking for some upward.
He was trying to get a bigger part next time.
Mm-hmm.
How did he break up with you?
Over text.
Oh.
Over text?
Is that
Over
acceptable
text.
in your generation?
It's not for me. I don't know how other people feel about it, but that is not how I work.
Were there emojis involved?
No.
Well, like, how long was this? Was the text just like, I break up with you?
No. At first,
Hashtag broken up.
at first he was just kind of being like weird, and he was like, I feel like we were closer like when we weren't dating. And I was like, well, that makes no sense because that's the opposite of how dating works. And he was like, I don't know, I feel weird. I feel different. Like that kind of like emo boy teenage thing.
I feel weird. Like I've got a
And
stomach
I was like,
bug.
well, okay, I'm sorry. And he was like, I think we need to spend some time apart. And I was like, oh God, okay. And I was with 2 friends at the time on our way back from rehearsal. Like I just seen him like 20 minutes earlier. And they were like, give me the phone. I'm going to write something to him. So one of my friends took the phone and wrote something to him. And that was the last time we talked.
Man.
Oh, Rilo.
Saw him the next night though at rehearsal.
Doesn't know what he's missing.
I guess he doesn't.
No. That's on him.
That was it.
Well, sisters, before we move any further, because I want us to talk a little bit more about technology and breakups. That sounds very technology and breakups.
Part 2.
Brought to you by the Smurl Sisters 3. Before we do that, we've got a new feature on Still Buffering.
Yeah.
We're gonna call it
The group
the group text.
The group message?
The group message.
So-
I'm sorry. Group message is what the kids call it.
Okay.
We're gonna call it the group message.
Yeah.
So Riley, that's what we're gonna call it.
Yeah, that's
Like
right.
I came up with it, but now that I hear you say it, I don't know if I like it.
Well, maybe that's the way I'm saying it. It's the group message.
It's the GM.
Oh, there you go. There it is.
Riley, tell us what's happening on the GM this week.
So today we have our first Jumbotron message, which is a personal message for Allison Sturkin.
Hi, Allison.
Hi, Allison.
Hey.
Thank you.
And it says, "Oh God, I hope you listen to Still Buffering. I forgot to ask. Happy belated birthday. I hope you listen too, Allison." And that is from KJ.
Oh, well, happy birthday, Allison.
Happy belated birthday.
Hope you're out there.
I hope you
If you're not,
listen.
though, it won't hold
No.
it against you.
And KJ, why don't you just send Allison a linkaroo
Yeah.
to the show. Check it out.
Especially this episode.
There you go.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it was all for naught, really.
Yeah.
We have another message this week. This is actually what we'd like you to do is listen to the Nerd Chat podcast. So, sisters, can I tell you about the Nerd Chat
Tell
podcast?
me about the Nerd
Oh,
Chat.
that sounds right up my alley.
Okay, 2 sibling nerds. So, one less sibling nerd than us, but still pretty cool.
Well, I mean, I'm not a nerd, so it's about right.
Sit down and chat about anything and everything nerdy. Mayor and Presley believe that any passion can make you a nerd and that you should always be proud of those things that make you a nerd. Listen every week as we explore things familiar and foreign to them. Check us out wherever you find podcasts, and new episodes come out every Tuesday.
Just like our show.
And they say, bye, nerds. I don't know if they're talking to us
Bye, nerds.
or to you listeners.
Oh, obviously
I'm assuming
not talking
us.
to me. Maybe I was supposed to
To me
say
and
that
Taylor.
to you too.
Okay, so
Aw.
listen
Bye,
to the
nerds.
Nerd Chat podcast. If you like us, that sounds right up your alley.
Yeah.
So, back
right.
to
Is that it?
that's it. That's all I got. Back to technology and breakups. So I would say that back in the day, if you were gonna like give somebody a proper send off, you know,
There'd be a balloon and banner involved.
if you were gonna take a bottle of champagne, smash it against your former boyfriend or girlfriend, and send them on their
Test them
way,
off to see. Viking funeral.
you should do it in person. Worst case scenario, you do it over the phone.
Yeah.
That's the worst case. Like, at least you have a conversation, that because then at least you don't have to like look at each other, but you have like a conversation. Are you telling me that like, is it the norm now
To text.
to text?
Apparently
a
for
breakup?
jerks, it's the norm.
What,
Ooh.
what other like forms of new technology can you use to break up with someone? Can you like gram a breakup?
Instagram it.
Yeah. Like just tag them in it, you know, and it's just
I
like
guess
you
I've
with
never
the sad
seen anyone
face.
do that before. I guess you could.
Like, I won't break up with you.
Or
Brownie
like
face.
you just change your status on Facebook to single and then tag them in the post.
Oh, that's brutal.
Oh, that's even worse.
And plus, they'd never know because none of you kids use Facebook anymore.
It's true. What about FaceTime?
Can you FaceTime a breakup?
Is that now? Would a FaceTime breakup be better or worse than a phone call
That's what
or
I'm
text?
saying.
Where would that fall on that scale of
Yeah.
crappy things
like
to
a
do with
face-to-face
somebody?
conversation, except you're not there with them. But also really awkward because it's like, well, I'm just gonna hang up now.
Yeah,
You just hit the button.
Yeah.
And then you're
true.
like, then your face is frozen on the screen for a second before it like clicks off, so you can like make a sad face to leave them with like, I'm sorry.
Or a face that's like, wait, if you're the one breaking up with them?
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say, if it's the other way around, you're the one being broken up with, you can be like, bye. Like, you know. Like.
Is that the best you got? Bye.
Like, see what you're missing. Like, flip your hair.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Or flip them off.
Yeah, that too.
Oh, well, don't do that.
Flip your hair and flip them off.
Can you, is Snapchat applicable here?
I can't imagine anyone using Snapchat for a breakup.
Can you YouTube a breakup?
Ooh.
YouTubers YouTube their, well, not like the breakup actually happening, but like after it's happened. Like if like they both do YouTube and they've done videos together.
Oh.
And they're like, guys, we broke up. And like it's usually a video, like one on one's channel, one on the other's channel. It's just of them crying and explaining what happened.
That's, I'm not going to say funny.
I think it's funny.
It's
very funny.
It's an extension of like, so when I went through breakups when I was younger, I wouldn't make a YouTube video about it because there was no YouTube. But I would like go to my diary. I would turn on like sad music and then go to my journal or my diary and write like, oh, the really, like I would sit there and think about it. It wasn't just like write what happened. It was like, how do I want this to sound? And write like this very emo entry in my journal about like this great love that has ended, or someone who I thought was someone and they weren't the person I thought they were, or whatever. It's the same thing. You're just doing it out loud on YouTube.
Yeah.
See, I had LiveJournal at my disposal, I think, for my first worst breakups. And that
There
was,
you go.
I would never keep it private. So it always came with that like thought that if they want to know how I feel about this, they can find it on the internet. And of course, you always believe that they've read the things that you wrote.
Oh yeah. Well, that's why you're putting it there.
Yeah. I agree. Does it count as a breakup? I don't know if it counts as
Probably not already, but keep going.
I don't know if it counts as a relationship, but this is kind of like this hurt me, little Riley, when I was in like 3rd grade.
Riley.
There was a boy. I had a Halloween party, and I don't know why he brought me a present, but he brought me a little box of tiny earrings, and I liked him. But then he wouldn't talk to me after that at school, and we sat next to each other in class.
I don't know if that's as much of a breakup.
I remember it hurting. Because now, I mean, he goes to my high school. We've talked recently. I mean, he has a girlfriend now.
Have you brought up the earrings?
Yeah. Have you confronted him about this betrayal?
But I just feel weird because he has a girlfriend now. So it's like, well, I shall wait.
Do you remember that time in 3rd
When you
grade?
gave me like a little box of earrings and you put like a heart on the box, like you drew a heart on the box. Do you remember that?
That would be the height of like a totally crazy thing to do. Like, I'm just wondering now, like, what did that mean?
I've been thinking about it for all these
I still
years.
have them.
What did it mean?
I actually don't still have them. But that would be very weird. I would not do that. That's the opposite of what I would do.
See, if I'm going to give you some advice, it'd be don't do that. The problem is that when you're younger, you're kind of like testing out all of the way you interact with other people, like what's appropriate social interaction. And so we end up doing a lot of dumb things to each other and hurting each other. But it's because sometimes it's malicious, but most of the time it's not. And most of the time it's just cluelessness.
Yeah.
Like you just don't, I mean, it was like when Justin didn't call me for 2 weeks, he just was clueless.
Yeah.
I remember one of my, I guess maybe my earliest breakup was one of those like, not really a breakup, but you just do something that sends a pretty clear message socially. Like this young man, probably like 5th grade, maybe. Yeah, because we still had the skate parties. So it was 5th grade, and I was his girlfriend. He'd asked me to be his girlfriend, and then at the skating parties that we had, like the school would do one every semester or something. You know, there was always a couple skate.
Yep, I remember that well.
The disco ball would come down, the lights would get low. You'd skate holding hands with somebody, and I couldn't really skate, so that was really the only one I could skate on because someone would be holding my hand.
I am right there with. This was my experience too, Tay. I never could skate, so I was just dragged around the rink by a guy I liked.
Yeah, but he grabbed another young lady's hand on the couple skate.
Oh.
And I just stood on the sideline with my skates on.
Oh, that's a sick burn.
Probably like a Boys to Men song playing, you know.
And so we've come. to the end of the road. So hard.
Speaking of songs,
I wish I had a picture of you, little Tay, standing there holding your skates on the side of the ring. That should be in like a teen movie or something. That's like a perfect shot.
Speaking of music, what did you all listen to after a tough breakup?
So there were a lot of great breakup songs.
Yeah.
One musical artist that I think, Riley, I would be shocked if you've heard of, was named Jan Arden. And she was popular back in my day. And she had a hit song called Insensitive, which was about dating somebody who was, insensitive.
Okay.
And because they were insensitive, they broke her heart. And I remember listening to that song a lot and feeling it very strongly, like singing along and like getting like, oh, this is me. Jan gets me. And it's hysterical.
Jan gets me.
Jan gets me. Because the line in it, like the chorus, her like big, because this is a breakup song. So in a breakup song, if you're like trying to, it's not like a, oh, I'm so sad, I'm so broken song, because you can have those breakup songs. It's one of those like, you're a jerk breakup songs. Like, here's the deal. You were wrong. One of those kind of breakup songs. And her big point is, I thought that you might have some advice to give on how to be insensitive. Which is not like a big zinger, Jan.
No.
I'm sorry, Jan, I love you. That's not like a great, like, you
Not
got
a sick burn.
zing.
It's like you were mildly inconsiderate sometimes. Oh.
She doesn't even say that. She says, I thought you might have some advice to give. I don't know if you know anything about like being like, not sensitive, but just in case you do, like, I thought you might be someone who would have like some advice.
That's the most passive aggressive breakup song I think there is.
But I used to think that was like, gosh, I am feeling this chick. She gets me.
Was that your level of feeling at that point?
Gosh.
Like we had Alanis Morissette at our disposal.
Well,
you ought to know. Like, come on. There are feelings. Although, and I don't know, this rumor said that's who that song is about.
I think that's true.
About
Dave Coulier.
yeah, Joey Gladstone.
Uncle Joey.
You ought to know, Ranger Joe.
You know what the thing was about You Ought to Know is that it's such a great song, and it's such like a perfect, like, you screwed me over, and now I'm going to write an amazing song and tell everybody in the world about how you screwed me over. It's such a great song. I think I knew even as a teenager, like, this is a little above my level. Like, I love this, but I know I haven't been through what Alanis has been through. Like, Alanis is on a whole other level of heartbreak and anger that I am not yet able to reach. I'll get there someday. It was like something, it was a goal. Someday I'll reach that level of feminine rage, but I'm not there yet.
Yeah, I think when I would get heartbroken, I would sometimes allow myself the sad songs, but I like the mad ones more. Like the Donnas had a really good one, I Didn't Like You Anyway. Biff Naked had Just a Moment of Weakness. That's the thing. Like, you put those on, you cry, but you also like scream the lyrics and feel empowered.
See, that was probably a better way to go with breakup songs.
Yeah, I have to agree. Those are the ones I like more.
Oh. What are some? Do you have some modern touch points for us, Riley? What about?
I would actually.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah. No, yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, I know that Miley Cyrus. She's got that Wrecking Ball song.
Yeah.
That's a great one, right?
Is that a
lot of-
breakup song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Keep me like a wrecking ball.
I didn't know that was a breakup song.
It never hits so high and low.
What about Shake It Off by Taylor Swift? Is that a breakup song?
That's to the haters.
Oh, I thought that was to all the boys.
Taylor Swift
No,
does have a lot of breakup songs, though.
Oh.
So Apple Music makes playlists that you can download, so you don't have to go through the time of them.
So you don't make your own breakup.
So you don't have to make them?
Oh, right. Okay. I want to know about these songs, but Riley, I'm going to tell you after we're done with this.
No, but I have my own.
Okay, good. Thank goodness. I was going to say, you've got to make your own breakup playlist because it's got to, otherwise it can't touch you the way it needs to.
No, that's one of the few things you get when you've been dumped. It's like, well, at least I get to spend like 3 days making a playlist.
I have my own, but I'm not going to share it. I will share with you the ones that are from Apple Music.
Oh, come on.
Mine's just a lot of show tunes.
That's okay. Does it have Without You on it from Rent?
Oh.
You know it does. Yeah, it does. That was one of mine too.
So I have one that's modern breakup songs and one that's breakup songs to make you dance. Which one do you want to hear first?
Breakup songs to make you dance.
Because these are like the ones that you were talking about, Taylor. You know, Elastic Heart by Sia.
That's a great song.
pre-made Apple Music playlist. How to Be a Heartbreaker by Marina and the Diamonds. Unwritten by Natasha Bedingfield. I bet you all have heard that song.
Yeah,
You've heard that song.
I don't know that that's something I would listen to while I was...
Breakup song.
I guess.
Lips Are Moving by Meghan Trainor.
I like that.
I know you do.
Mm-hmm.
Since You've Been Gone by Kelly Clarkson is my personal favorite.
Since You've Been Gone.
That's a
Because
good
you can
one.
just scream it.
Can I tell you? Yes, you can. Kelly Clarkson. I have. Not because, I mean, like, since that song's been out, you got to understand, it's been a long time since I've been through a breakup. since that song's been out, I've been in a fairly steady relationship, you might say. And Kelly Clarkson has the key to my heart, guys. She really, she unlocks it every time. Her songs.
That used to be your ringtone. That used to be your ringtone.
Since You've Been Gone. I love that song. I love Kelly Clarkson. I love Kelly Clarkson.
Okay.
There it is.
Okay.
This is my heartbeat song, and I love Kelly Clarkson.
So long I forgot how to turn it up.
And this is derailed entirely.
The last one on here is Part of Me by Katy Perry. And then on modern breakup songs, which a few of these aren't modern, this is another pre-made Apple playlist. I don't listen to all of them, but I do listen to Cry Me a River by Justin Timberlake.
It's a good song.
Let's see, We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together by Taylor Swift.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's
very
a good one.
clearly
Yeah.
a breakup song.
Yeah.
When I Was Your Man by Bruno Mars. Somebody That I Used to Know by, I don't know how to say that. That's a band name. I don't know how to say it, but Somebody That I Used to Know. You've heard that song.
I've heard that song.
Jar of Hearts by Christina Perri.
That is a weird song.
It is.
That is a weird song because I've heard that song. It's not a bad song, but it is about a jar of hearts.
Yeah, but like metaphorical.
Yeah, but it does. I mean, it's not clear, and that's not like a, that.
Wait.
That's a weird metaphor
Wait,
too.
it's not clear that it's a jar of hearts?
I don't know this song. What is happening to the jar of hearts? Or is it about making...
Who do you think
collecting
you are? Running
jar
around
of
leaving
hearts?
scars, collecting your jar of hearts, tearing love apart.
Collecting your jar of hearts.
But that's obviously a metaphor.
no, but that's not.
What if
but
it's
that's
not? What if it's
obvious,
like a
because-
cool song about like a serial killer?
But that's not a thing. It's
No, it's
not
about,
like you're like,
it's
oh, you
about,
know,
like-
he's one of those guys who just collects his jar of hearts. That's
He's
not
a
thing.
Yeah.
a heart
think about
jar.
It's a real jerk who dates girls to break up with them. So he goes around gets their heart when someone says your heart is not my heart is yours. He gets your heart and he takes it
And he puts
breaks
it in a
and he
jar.
puts
Is this
it in
some
a
sort
jar.
of goblin? Like once you speak the words, I own your heart.
This is the sequel to Rumpelstiltskin, I think.
This is
I
the
have to
Buffy
say-
episode.
I know. I've always had a
No,
problem
it
with that
actually
song.
is. Wait.
I remember the first time I heard it, I was like, did she just say jar of hearts? I have a problem with that.
I have to say-
it's Hush. Hush the song.
All it is.
My favorite one on here is one I used to sing along to, but the Glee version when I was real little, third grade. Take a Bow by Rihanna.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know what that song
yeah.
is.
Yeah.
'Cause you put on quite a show. You know that song? Yeah?
I think so.
Really had me going.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that song. That's
That's
my
a good
favorite
song.
on here.
I'm with you.
And Since You've Been Gone
I was confused by the Madonna song, Take a Bow.
That's the
on
scene. I
here,
was like,
yeah.
yeah, I know that. That's not Rihanna.
Yeah. Is that what we're talking about, the same song here?
No, I'm talking about the Rihanna one.
What is it? Is it a cover of the Madonna song, or are they two separate songs?
I don't know the Madonna one.
Oh. With the
Whoa.
bullfighter in the music video? You know, Riley, the music video to the Madonna song, never mind.
I don't know what that is.
Hey, just let it go. It's fine.
But Since You've Been Gone is on that playlist again. I think that's a very popular breakup song.
That's a
It
great
is my favorite.
That's a great breakup song.
It is my favorite. But yeah, those are my pre-curated Apple playlists.
Those are solid picks. We didn't mention, I think one of our classic breakup songs was probably Don't Speak.
Oh yeah.
Don't
Because-
speak,
Yeah.
I like the Natalie Imbruglia Torn. I think that was an age appropriate one for me.
You rocked that song. I remember you listening to that song.
Oh yeah.
You put that on your playlist. On your Teens of the Old playlist.
I did. There was also, I remember when I was looking back through different songs from that time period, and I think a more empowering one was Never Gonna Get It by En Vogue.
I know that one.
Never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it. That's a song that I was like, yeah, that's right.
I know that one.
Not this time.
Not this time. Oh, Sid.
You hear all that attitude?
I will say one of the ones on my show tunes breakup playlist is Still Hurting from the last 5 years. That's a good one if you haven't listened to it. That is a good one. It's a sad one. It's not an empowering one. But
I sang Without You from Rent, which is also
that's
great
such a good one. It's
breakup
on my playlist.
song. Yeah, with my then boyfriend for pre-show the Outdoor Theater Productions.
Is this what then?
I was gonna say, but then you broke up.
Then we broke up. It was so intense. We broke up. I think this is a very teen problem because you don't see this in adult life. We broke up right before prom. So who was I planning on going to prom with?
Your boyfriend.
Right. And who was he planning on going to prom with?
Not you, I guess.
Well, no,
Oops.
me. Like we were planning on, but it's not just, it's never just you two. It's like the friends, right? Like at that age, it's like all the friends are involved. So we had a whole group going to prom. We had dinner reservations. We had
you had
like
that set number for dinner reservations.
We had how we were getting there and the whole thing. And like, I still wanted to go and he still wanted to go, but we had broken up. So we went with each other anyway. I think that is something that only happens when you're younger. Like as an adult, you would never be like, well, we just got divorced, but we're still going to go to this dinner together.
We have a beach vacation planned.
Yeah. So we're just going to spend it together. But we went together, and which is the worst thing you can do as a teenager, because then like all those emotions and hormones, and like you're at prom, and I was dressed like what I thought was a very Princess Bride looking. It was very Buttercup inspired ensemble. I felt very romantic. And so we had that moment where like, we should get back together.
But you didn't, did you?
And then the sun came up the next day and I went, no, I remember why we broke up to begin with.
I guess that was like better than what could have happened though, because I feel like now at least if it was a relationship like that and it was a guy and a girl because you were dating a boy, I feel like it would be easier for a boy to get a date that fast than a girl. Right? Like, don't you agree?
Do you mean because guys get to ask still?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think
guys
you're
are the
right.
ones doing the asking. I've never seen a guy ask. I've never seen one. I'm sure it's happened, but a girl has said no.
It's really unfair that we still have this stigma, like, and I'm sure this is not true everywhere, but like here, I think you still have that expectation that guys are supposed to ask you.
Yeah.
Which is crap. Because
Like,
whoever wants to ask whoever to whatever can do that.
We had a Sadie Hawkins dance in middle school, which is where the girls
Sadie Hawkins?
It's where the girl's supposed to ask the guy, right?
Yeah, but that's so like 1950s.
It wasn't called Sadie
Was it a
Hawkins.
sock hop?
It was called like a it was called like a snowball dance.
We did have sock hops.
But the girls were supposed to ask the boys, and the boys still asked the girls.
I don't like that at all.
I didn't go.
I don't like that brand of
Protested.
chauvinism. Or any, for as long as we're counting.
Is there a good one? No.
I reject all brands equally.
You are not a jar.
Labels are for jars, guys.
I'm not a jar.
I don't know if I've mentioned that on the show before. I
feel like you definitely have.
Yeah, no, I definitely have.
But I do think, like, as far as like thinking about the timing of a breakup is, if you're the one doing the break-upping, is a good thing to consider. Like maybe you could have waited till after prom for that.
Yeah.
Have that one magic night.
That would have been a good...
Or far enough ahead of time
Did
so that
you
you have
break up with
adequate
him?
time to find dates. I once had a young man break up with me in college in my junior year. It was like around October, and I'd mentioned that I'd bought a Christmas present super early for one of you guys. And then that proceeded to him breaking up with me, and it was spawned from the fear that I would buy him Christmas presents, that then he would feel really bad because he knew he would at least break up with me before Christmas. I kind of appreciated that.
Aww.
I was like, oh, my heart. But also, thank you for thinking of my budget.
I heard of people at my high school doing that, either waiting to date someone until after Valentine's Day or Christmas or a holiday so they don't have to buy them anything, or breaking up with them right before if they're already dating them so they don't have to buy them anything.
That's sort of like that Ben Folds song for the Dumped, where he talks about, I wish I hadn't bought you dinner before you dumped me on the front porch.
I mean, I've got my birthday is in January, so you've got Christmas on one side and Valentine's Day on the other. It's so weird. I never seem to have significant others in those months. It's so weird.
Now, Tay, you have rules for breakups, right?
Well, I started thinking about these as we were talking about this. Like, if you're going to be the one doing the dumping, I think you have to at least have considerations. There's some rules you should follow for like the person that you're going to be breaking up with.
For the dumpy.
For the dumpy. If you're the dumper, these are some rules to follow. Like I think, one thing that I always get super bummed about is when I lose stuff to a breakup.
Yeah.
Because I have a very big comic book collection, and I inevitably loan out comics to whoever I'm dating. Like, you should read these. I think I've lost 4 Preacher and Transmetropolitan trade paperback #1s to 4 different relationships.
That's just wrong.
And, if I was the one that broke up with them, then like maybe I would kind of feel like, well, that was fair. But I was the one that was dumped in all of those situations, so I don't think that's exactly right.
I think it would have been well within your rights to say, that's all well and good. Give me my comic book back.
Yeah, I lost my entire season 2 of American Horror Story on DVD.
Oh.
I don't have that anymore. I mean, now it's on Netflix, I guess, but still, I had a DVD.
All right, I don't know who all you exes are, but Taylor wants her comic books back. Riley wants her DVDs back.
I do want my DVDs.
No, I mean at this point
This is your chance.
I think this is on me. Like I should have learned by now. You gotta. What's a good way to say this? Collections before affections. How's that? Don't give your stuff away until you got a ring on your finger or something. It's like part of my dowry. You can read my comic books.
I will didn't take anything else away from this episode. Collections before affections.
I think that's a fair point. It was a big step. I remember the day that Justin and I reorganized all of our bookshelves so that they would make more sense and we could fit all our books in them. And it involved mixing our books. And I remember that moment being like, no turning back now. Our books are all mixed up now.
That's what no turning back is for Sydney.
That's what it is. It's the moment. We have a whole house full of books, and I don't even remember whose was whose anymore. So,
well, and that's definitely a rule. Like but it's tricky because you need to bring the stuff that you have of theirs to the location you're going to be doing the dumping at, but you also can't have them see it like right away.
Hey, Tay, is that?
Oh no!
Why do you have hold on.
That box has X's stuff on it with a sad face.
I guess the only other way you could do that is like, don't even say anything. Just bring it so it's clearly marked. Just throw it down wherever you're going and then run off.
And then run away. Like ring, ding dong ditch. Like leave it on their front porch, ring the doorbell, and run.
Maybe drop it in the mail a few days before so they get it like when they get home from the breakup.
Well, at least I got my stuff back.
I had a friend that happened to. Like, he showed up at a cafe to meet his girlfriend, and she just had his stuff sitting there, and it was like, well, here's the thing. oh no.
Man. Out in public?
Yeah. Then see, I don't, like, how do you feel about, like, should it be at their, I think you have to be on their territory. Like, I live in New York. We are many boroughs. If you live in Harlem and I live in Brooklyn and you're breaking up with me, you better do it in Brooklyn, preferably off of my train.
Well, exactly, because you don't want to send the poor person crying out in public back home.
Yeah.
What's more embarrassing than that? Like, have the decency to do it at their apartment so that then you take off and let them cry there.
Yeah. I got dumped once at a bar in Midtown, which is just like 2 trains away, and also I was at a bar, which is just like...
Which does leave something to be said for the over the phone breakup. The biggest breakup I ever had. I know. I was forced to do over the phone because I was incapable of doing it in person, time and time again. And I did something that I think there's a term for now. You guys can tell me. I kind of vanished for several days. I'm ashamed to admit it was a long relationship. I turned my phone off and disappeared for like 3 days.
Sydney.
And when I finally reappeared on the map and answered my phone, he said, "I guess this is over, huh?" And I said, "Yeah." And that was like the biggest. That was my last and final breakup before, Justin and I reconnected. So,
Man,
I feel bad about that. I did that wrong. I did a bad.
You did
I
a
did
bad
a bad job.
You did a bad.
I could have done that way better.
yeah. See, I've only ever been dumped once over the phone, but it was in a long distance relationship, so it kind of made sense. Like,
Yeah.
You really couldn't have waited around for that. But yeah, I don't know how, because but I've thought both ways of this as somebody, like, if I was dumped over the phone, but I was in the safety of my own house, like maybe
That's better.
not that bad actually.
I don't know. I can't say anything because I was the dumper, so I don't want to say that I was right.
But ghosting is never okay. I think we can all agree on
No.
that.
So ghosting, I guess, is just like disappearing, right?
Yeah.
But I think there is sort of a stipulation on that, because I think people get accused of it, like somebody, like, you, I don't know, you go on like one date with somebody and then you don't get back to them. Is that still ghosting, or is that a pretty clear, like, it wasn't any good for me?
Okay, so like you go on one date with them, but like they never like you text them and they never answer, like you call them and they never answer,
Yeah.
or they never call you or text you.
Is that still crappy? That's still crappy,
That's
isn't
still
it?
crappy.
Yeah, I've done that.
I feel like even if you just go on one date with someone, you should still have the decency to be like, hey, I had a good time, but I just don't think this is going to work out.
No, you're right. You're right.
know?
Yeah.
Man, that's rough. No, that sounds good and you're right. It'd be nice if we could all say that, but like getting those words to come out of your mouth is so hard.
Yeah.
To look at somebody and say like, I know you're into this, but I'm not.
So bad.
Because it feels, because you're not passing judgment on a person. You're passing judgment on like if this relationship between the two of you will exist and be good. And what you're saying is probably not. But that person is probably going to have a relationship with somebody else. It's going to be great for both people.
Yeah.
Well,
But,
that's I
it's
think
hard to separate that.
yeah, like the language that you use does really matter, because when you mentioned earlier, like the it's not you, it's me kind of stuff is the
Yeah.
worst, because what you're doing is you're leaving like this little bit of hope, like, well, wait, if it's not me, if you still think I'm awesome, but you're just going through something, then I'll help you get there. We'll figure it out. Like, I think it's kind of a cruel to be kind situation, Like, I think it's kind of like, nope, this is definitely not going to work, and I'm pretty sure about this, and that's that. Bye. Like, as impossible as that is to do, like, that's kind of the best thing you can do for somebody, is just be very much like, this is over. Here is your stuff.
And I think
Your train is that
here's
way.
your stuff.
We are in a convenient location adjacent to your house.
Maybe
Now,
you could-
anytime I
Maybe you
come
could
over-
get them in like an Uber waiting.
I called you an Uber.
Like an
Just
Uber
open
pulls
the
up
door.
and you're standing there like, what's the? Oh, they're a little faster than I. Anyway, what I was about to say is this is done.
I don't want to get the charge for making them wait, so we can wrap this up.
Just real quick, lose my number. Bye.
Here's your stuff. Throw it in the car after them.
Riley, is there a series of emojis you can use to break up with someone?
I thought about this. You should never do this.
But if there was one,
But if
What
there
would
was,
you do?
I thought about it. They have all the couple emojis, which
Uh-huh.
are two people, two girls, two boys, a guy and a girl, either way, next to each other with a heart in the middle. You put that. That's you all before. You put the broken heart emoji in the middle. And then you put an individual of each member of the
Okay.
relationship.
Oh, okay. So it's like
You
a,
just
like a
send
math
that.
equation of heartbreak.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is nice because if somebody sent me that as a way of saying like I'm going to break up with you, I would simultaneously understand like you're breaking up with me, and then also this is for the best.
Yeah.
This clearly was not a good situation I was in, so I'm okay with it now.
Like,
Yeah,
I think
that's
that's
true.
yeah. Like, once again, further stipulation. Like, if you know you're gonna break up with someone, maybe look really bad that day. Like, maybe
Oh, there
don't.
you go. So they don't feel so bad about it.
Yeah, like look
they
at
do in
grossness. Make it
Friends.
easy for them. Don't brush your
Right?
teeth.
Right? Like they do in that episode of Friends.
Do they do that?
When
on Friends?
Rachel's giving Barry
Okay.
back his engagement ring, and someone's telling her how to. I think Ross is telling her how to do it, and Ross is like, "You can't look too good, so you got to look bad." So she wears like baggy clothes, but then like he's still looking good when she gets there. So she like while he's out of the room like takes off her jacket and ties up her hair and makes herself look better. You know what I'm talking about.
That
I know what you're
Rachel.
talking about. I'm with you. So, was that helpful, Riley?
I mean, kind kinda. I guess I know what music to listen to now.
Well, and if I can, have my very special message for a minute of seriousness, like, I think I would consistently get pretty hurt and pretty hung up after breakups until I realized something very simple, and that's that you don't want to be with anybody that's not super excited to be with you.
Yeah.
So, and it's like, it's kind of just one of those mantras you stick in your brain and say over and over again, but it gets you there.
That's exactly right, because I will tell you, Riley, I hate to use the word love, because what is love, guys? I don't know. I mean, like,
Okay, this has been.
Don't hurt me.
I hate to use I hate to use the word love, but the way that you fall in and out of whatever you want to call it when you're a teenager, like, do it as many times as you can. It's amazing. It's wonderful. And then it's awful. And then it's wonderful again. And then it's awful. And like, you're supposed to feel that way. It's great. It's great, because every time a relationship ends, that's just that door opens for that next one that you just, like, you get that desperate, like, I can't stay away from this person. I want to see him every second. I want to talk to him every second. I want to talk to everybody else about them. I want all of my everything to be about this person, which is, like, not realistic forever. That's not how real life, like, partnerships work. Justin and I don't spend all day, like, I'm not at work, like, trying to provide medical care to the sick going, can I tell you about how cute my husband is? Can I tell you?
I feel like you've done that before, though.
I mean, I do it occasionally, but, I do, like, my business, too. So, like, that's the real world. It's like you do your business, too. But, when you're a teenager, you can get consumed by it. And that's okay every now and then, to let yourself be consumed by it and then wake back up and go, whoa.
Hang on.
What was that? Crazy.
Well, I do think that you're right. Like, that you get closer and closer to figuring out what you do like and what you do work with. I mean, that's a you that you have to get to know before you know what to do with it. You only get that through other relationships.
Exactly. You gotta kiss a lot of frogs.
Bye, everybody.
Hey, and I will say, and I'm in a super new relationship, but we did meet at karaoke, so bursting into song eventually worked for me.
There is something to be said for that. Justin, this is a little off color. Justin, one of the first things he did, sorry, Riley, in advance, was take me to an open mic night when we first started going out, when we met again in college. When we first started going out, he took me to an open mic night. He stood up in front of everybody at this open mic night and played his guitar and sang a song he wrote that was called Big Donker. And I fell in love with that man. I married him. I've been married 10 years. I have given birth to his child.
That was it.
Okay, everybody.
That was
the winning. So Riley, you keep doing your poolside solo dance routine. Someday some young gentleman or lady is just gonna dance right back at you, and you're gonna be there, and you're gonna know you're right.
There you go. It works.
This has been still buffering. I'm very uncomfortable. I need to go back to my bed.
I guess whenever we need to end an episode, we just say Big Donker.
And we're done.
Thank you everyone for listening. I'm not even gonna let Sydney do it this time. Thank you everyone for listening. Thank you for all of us on our Facebook page. If you want to join it, it's still buffering. It's a closed group, but we'll let you in. If you want to tweet at us, it's at still buff. If you want to send us emails with questions or comments or suggestions, it is still buffering at maximumfun.org.
If you want to review us on iTunes, we'd really appreciate it. And thank you to Maximum Fun for being our host network of amazing podcasts. And thank you to the Novellas for our theme song, Baby You Change Your Mind.
This has been Still Buffering, a sister's guide to teens through the ages. I am Riley Smurl.
I'm Sydney Mackerel.
I'm Taylor Smurl.
I am a teenager.
And I was too.
Hey guys, this is Adam Conover. You may know me from my True TV show, Adam Ruins Everything. Well, guess what? Now we're doing a podcast version right here on Maximum Fun. What we do is we take all the interesting, fascinating experts that we talk to for just a couple minutes on the show, and we sit with them for an entire podcast, really going deep and getting into the fascinating details of their work. Find Adam Ruins Everything wherever you get your podcasts or at MaximumFun.org.
MaximumFun.org.
Comedy and culture.
Artist owned.
Listener supported.